calling from your heart and calling from your mind. I am the spark that kindles the flame and nurtures all in kind. For a jewel of light has been at every root and lies within the soil's clay, and it cradles the babe of our visions and dreams and sends all creation into flight. Take my hand, I'll pull to free your stance. I pull only at first, and when you push on to make out a path, the waiting seed pods burst. There's a fountain that flows from deep within the rock and satisfies the thirst in all, and it cools the brow when the hammer falls and smooths the way for the birth. So speak my name, I'll come to any door and come at any hour. And when you raise your voice and your heart, your innocence is power, and the healing of love can sweeten bitter taste and wash the poison from the wound, and it fills every sail to ride upon the sea and guides every vessel homeward bound.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live in-person and live Zoom
We come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Oh, so is life. Ah. is of the river, body is the mountain, spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit, only can the Spirit turn the world around. Oh, so is life now, so is life. Oh, so is life now, so is life. Oh, so is life now, so is life. Whoa, so is life now, so is life.
and her group of volunteers who helped us out this year. Our first Sunday luncheon will be served after the service today. Today's theme is Baked Potato Bar. Contributions are appreciated and will be donated to the church fund. We hope you will join us. A discussion on the ongoing peace series will be held today from 12:30 p.m. in the sanctuary following the luncheon. All are invited to attend and participate in the Q&A session. Church Council will meet on the second Friday of the month in the annex. The next meeting will be at 4 p.m. on February 14th. Women's Fed meets on the second Saturday of the month and will meet this month on February 8th at 1 p.m. This month's meeting features a screening of the film Hidden Figures about 3 real women of color, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, working at NASA during the 1950s and 60s. Popcorn and candy will be served as refreshments. Join us on Saturday, February 15th at 1:30 p.m. to kick off the 2025 lunch series with pasta dishes, including gluten-free and vegetarian ones. There will be good food and good fellowship. Suggested tickets are $25 or sweat equity, $12 for children ages 6 to 12, and ages under 5 and under are free. Ticket sales are advance purchase only. Please see Robert Brown or Grace Preuss for tickets. All proceeds go to the church fund. Welcome to all our visitors today, and welcome back to old friends. We would love to meet you during coffee hour after the service. If you are comfortable doing so, please give us a wave so we can recognize you later. Hi, welcome. And for those of you on Zoom, you can use the Zoom wave feature or just wave at your camera. We'd love to chat with you out in the parish hall, where you can also find our visitors book. Please leave your name before you leave so that we know you were here, and leave your contact information if you want updates on church events. There will also be a short discussion after the service to share your reflections with us. For those of you online, the best way to get added to the mailing list is to email the church office at admin@uuchurchofriverside.org. And now, I invite you to sit back and take a slow, deep breath as we move into the worship hour. You are welcome to read with me the mission statement of our church. Our mission is to foster a diverse religious community that celebrates life, affirms the individual, encourages spiritual growth and open thought, and works to advance social justice and environmental sustainability. Our speaker today is UUCR member Kasey Davis, who will be speaking to us on Imbolc, a celebration of returning light. Imbolc, usually observed on February 1st or 2nd, is the second festival in the Wheel of the Year. It has its roots in the Celtic world and is heavily associated with the goddess Brigid, an ancient Celtic goddess of home, agriculture, spring, dawn, and fertility. Imbolc encompasses connections to land, community, and the self. Imbolc is celebrated to mark the halfway point between the winter solstice, Yule, and the spring equinox, Ostara. The sun gets brighter as the night gets shorter. It celebrates the awakening of the land and the growing power of the sun. It is a reflective time to look deeper into your goals and intentions for the coming spring, and to think about what you want to tend and grow this year in yourself and your world. We have two lightings of sacred flames. The first is a remembrance candle for the indigenous peoples who continue to cry out for justice and self-determination. We remember that underneath us is the unceded land of several indigenous peoples, including the Cahuilla, the Luiseño, and the Cupeño. We light this sacred flame in their remembrance and in recognition of their ongoing struggle for freedom and dignity. Our second sacred flame is our own chalice, the symbol of our faith. We are blessed with this space and opportunity to strive to live out our common principles, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to be part of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Let these thoughts carry us forth as we journey and worship together. Today's chalice lighting words are by Cynthia Landrum. In the bleak and cold winter, we gather ourselves in to light the fire, to warm our spirits, to kindle the flame of love and hope. Thank you, Bill and Tinka. It is said that shared joy is a double joy. Shared sorrow is half sorrow. On the first Sunday of each month, we share the joys and concerns that we have received from you and which you have collected throughout the month. First, I'm going to read the joys and concerns which were given to us. Concern for the current disruption of many needed humanitarian programs and policies, for the climate of intolerance and arbitrary actions, and for a joy from me myself. I just finished a final exam, and I'm very happy. Yay! Is there anyone here in the sanctuary who would like to speak their joy or concern? Come on up, Bill.
A concern that I insist.
Yeah. Until you come over to the
that I insist
microphone.
on making into a joy, darn it. Taking notes is something I used to do in school. And they were long notes, and they were really incomprehensible because my writing is god-awful. But we have, right now, a time when our leaders have decided to blitz with an awful lot of really stupid decisions. However, I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of professionals who probably know how to take some darn good notes. So remember this time when the times change and it's time to go back to being nice to each other again, good to each other again, and to raise each other up again. Remember this time. Remember that you still know when the rules were a little bit different and that the money flowed into a way that did some good. My sorrow is that they're doing this to us. My joy is that we have the answer.
Come on up to the microphone and share your joy and or concern.
I'm Nick. I'm a Universalist, Unitarian. Nice to see you all here today. My joy is often coming here to be with all of you. And I'm finding that I'm coming up on a talk with my neurosurgeon. I'm going to tell him that I want to go ahead with having surgery on my low back, hopefully in order to get rid of pain and restore feeling. And I see that as a joy, really, because the pain that I walk around with is it's too debilitating. It limits me way too much. And I have a good surgeon that I know will do a great job. And so I may be gone for a while. Hopefully they'll do the surgery within a month to 6 weeks, but I'll be here until then. And good to see you all, and thanks for coming today.
Alec?
Hi, good morning. My name is Alec, and I have a joy that I want to share with you. Over the last couple months, my mom, a few months ago, my mom published her own first book, which was really exciting. But she has since then, her publisher, along with, has tried to give her, as well as all the other writers under that publisher, a pretty bogus contract where they basically lose all of the rights to all their publishing rights to their book. And they only recently, after of those a couple months of legal battle, she and all the other writers have gotten the rights to their books back. And so they now, once again, have control over over the work that they did. So I'm very happy for her for that.
My name's Tim, and I'd just like to say it's good to be a part of this fellowship, this kind of fellowship in a church. Everybody wants to be accepted and loved into a fellowship, and I think this is a good fellowship. I was at drinking at Lake Alice Trading Company, and Bill came up and said, "Hey, how you doing, Tim?" And I just want to say one of the last things I said last week. This is kind of the utilitarian philosophy. This is for the most ensures the most good for the most people. Adam said, anybody who wants to do good is received with gratitude here. Thank you for letting me speak.
Would anyone else in the sanctuary like to come up and share their joy or concern?
Hello, my name is Kevin Fisher. This is my first time being here today. Thank you. Well, I have a simple joy. This Wednesday I'm going to be going on a date, and I'm excited for that. I do have a big concern, though, unfortunately. I have a tumor, and I'm concerned about the procedures that will need to be done. You know, I'll have a biopsy tomorrow, and later on down the line, a full surgery to remove this growth in my abdomen. And I hope that all goes well, and I hope that I have many years ahead of myself. But that's been the thing that's been on my mind mostly. But anyways, I'm very thankful to... I haven't stepped into church for a very long time, but it's nice to find, hopefully, a place that'll be nice and accepting. And yeah, that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Well, he prompted my joy. My joy is 20 years of cancer, or without cancer, since I started carrot juice. I had cancer in 2005 and 2006. I gradually built up the amount of carrot juice from nothing to 3 cups a day to 5 cups a day. And at 5 cups a day, I got shrinkage. So or 3 cups a day in 2006, I was able to stop the growth of my tumors. And a year later, I went to 5 cups a day and got shrinkage. And within a few months, 4 months after I got to 5 cups a day, all my cancer was gone. And I haven't been back to the doctor since chemo and radiation in 2005. So that year with 3 cups a day kept it from growing. And at 5 cups a day, I got shrinkage and have not been back to the doctor since 2005. And my block has passed 1 million. A few months ago, it's now 1.11 million. It's called cancer is over.
Hi, I'm Tinka, and my joy this morning is knowing that this sort of pagan holy day was coming up, and I approached Kasey to see if perhaps she might help with the service or do the sermon, and so I'm really glad that she and Ren are doing the service today. Thank you.
Is there anyone online who would like to share? All right, we have someone who wrote something in the chat, and we're seeing if they are willing to have it shared publicly.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, I'd just like her to go ahead and read what I typed in the chat, please.
We can hear you and see you, and we'd love to have you share.
Okay, well, my concern is that things are not going well here with my family. I'm not going to try to explain that, but my joy is that I get to make plans for moving back to Riverside in July of this year.
That is wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Well, this is Tinka. I just want to say that it's really nice to see you and to hear from you. You have been missed from this church.
Is there anyone else online or here in the sanctuary who would like to come up and share? Come on up. Come on up to the microphone.
Hello, how are you? God is with you. It's been a while. I've been meaning to come to this place for so long, and I'm finally here, so I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Life ends, life begins, but with God, everything's possible. Wish you the best forever and ever. You deserve to be happy.
Thank you.
Well, with that, Bill, would you come back up to place the stone? We place a stone in our water chalice to represent the joys and concerns we have shared with our church community, and in recognition of those we hold close and have not shared. May we remember those who have spoken, those they have named, and those we hold in silence in our hearts. Our hymn now is number 118, This Little Light of Mine, from the Gray Hymnal. Feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 118, This Little Light of Mine.
Building up
This portion of our service is to support our beloved historical church. This can be accomplished in several ways. In addition to the weekly collection, you may send your checks to the church address, which is shown on the slide here. You may contribute by PayPal using the QR code, which is shown here, as well as on the church website and in the newsletter. Stater Brothers Market gives our church a rebate on Stater grocery cards, which we will have in church each Sunday. You get the full value, and the church also receives a percentage for free. Please see Dinah Rowe or Robert Brown in the church office if you are interested in purchasing the gift cards. Please donate as the Spirit moves you, by whatever method works best for you. Thank you for your generosity. To those who give of their time and their talent, thank you for your generous care and attention. To all of you who have joined us here today, thank you for the gift of your presence. Will our ushers now please come forward to receive the collection? A bag will also be passed around to collect food and hygiene items for our local community. Our next hymn is number 402, From You I Receive, from the gray hymnal. Feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 402, From You I Receive. Our meditation today is a poem by Page. The sun will rise again, the gnarled branches will bloom, the forest will yawn, and sleepy sighs will follow. The frost will melt, and the soil will give birth to a new world. Dawn is coming. The creatures sing with her arrival. Gone will be the ice that separated us from her warmth. Shadows will dissipate, and the wild will grow anew. Our bodies will thrive. My body is her garden, soothed by her presence, awakened by her opening eyes. I am a part of her, one with the earth and the creatures roaming. This is our rebirth, our celebration. Together we welcome the morning. We feast through the glorious day. And by firelight, we pray for the harvest. Welcome, Mother, we have been waiting. Now let us pause for a moment of silence and reflection. One of the 6 sources of our UU tradition is spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions, which celebrate the sacred circle of life and instruct us to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. Now I would like to introduce Kasey Davis, speaking to us on Imbolc, a celebration of returning light. You're welcome. Do you want to use the computer or the counter?
Yeah, our light doesn't. All right, so I'm Kasey, and I'm going to read to you about Imbolc. Imbolc, or Candlemas, is a celebration of light and the first spark of spring. It is a whisper of warmer weather and an ember of hope in the darkness of winter. Bulbs start to bloom and are often the first flowers of spring to appear. Imbolc is a potent reminder of the cyclical nature of life. It serves to connect us with the rhythms of the earth, the changing seasons, and the perpetual dance of light and darkness. It signifies renewal, purification, and the promise of brighter days ahead. It's the universe's way of saying, hang in there, spring's on its way. Traditionally, Imbolc is an ancient pre-Christian Celtic fire festival or holiday that celebrates the return of the sun, fertility, rebirth, and the first signs of spring. It is a time to celebrate the sun's light returning after winter and prepare for the bounty of spring. Historically, it was traditionally celebrated in Ireland, Scotland, and the Isle of Man. This cross-quarter day fire festival is associated with the pagan fire goddess Brigid. It is a celebration in honor of the spring maiden, or mother goddess, coming to bless us with the light of the sun and the new life and gifts it will bring to the earth and her people. In the old Irish Neolithic language, Imbolc is translated as in the belly, or in the belly of the mother. Metaphorically, this refers to the pregnant ewes, reindeer, and cows, and the blessings of milk that comes with the birth of their young. Imbolc also gets its name from the Irish Gaelic, which means ewe's milk. It refers to the time when ewes began lactating after giving birth to lambs and signified the arrival of spring to the ancient Celts. To grasp the historical significance of this cross-quarter holiday at the midpoint between winter and spring, you must realize the life and death struggle that winter represented to people in ancient pre-Christian agrarian societies. Imbolc meant better times lay ahead because food and warmth would again be plentiful. The sights and smells brought by each passing day after this ancient celebration brought renewed hope. After Imbolc, the first signs of spring begin to give birth and spring forth as the days grow warmer and longer. This was and still is something to celebrate. especially for people in ancient times because it meant warmer temperatures and more food. For example, the arrival of milk after a winter without it and being able to make dairy products again were just a few of the many spring blessings celebrated at this midway point between the seasons in ancient times. Milk made it possible for people to survive the winter when food stores ran low because of the nutrients it contained. It is also why reindeer, deer, ewes, and cows are still considered sacred today by the people in many northern lands and countries on Earth. Traditionally associated with the Earth's awakening in the late winter, Imbolc is a time to celebrate. Traditionally, it is a time to feast, light fires, share stories, and prepare for spring. Imbolc is a time of rebirth and fertility, as a divine spark born at midwinter grows and brings more and more light. Nature begins to awaken all around us, because after Imbolc, the sun arises above the earth and burns longer and brighter each day. In ancient times, food offerings like seeds, oats, bread, or milk were traditionally left out for Brigid on the eve of Imbolc to ensure abundance in the coming year. And on Imbolc, she was celebrated as the mother goddess with great feast, giant bonfires, and glowing lanterns. Although the equinox would not arrive until March, and along with it, the height of spring, Imbolc is the signpost that better times lay ahead. So people celebrated with feast and fires because Brigid had arrived to chase away winter. Traditionally, people lit candles and bonfires to ward off darkness and cold, symbolizing the return of light. This was also a time for cleaning and purification. Some of the most common Imbolc traditions include enjoying a meal, lighting fires, sharing traditional stories, preparing for spring, and creating an altar. Thus, many people celebrate with feast and bonfires, doing some spring cleaning, preparing the garden, and planting the seeds of their future, literally and figuratively. Many spiritual and physical blessings come from these rhythmic, cyclical changes so often taken for granted in today's society. Hibernating animals awaken from their long winter sleep, and life begins to sprout from the ground once again. As snowdrops and crocuses burst through the frozen earth and new life grows within the wombs of livestock and wild creatures everywhere, it's time to witness the transformation occurring both around and within you. The world is changing from a cold, dark place to one of warmth, light, life, and sprouting new growth. It's time to take a moment to pause. Remember that we are a reflection of our world, and consider what these changes mean within the mirror or what they say about us. In other words, what does the reflection of new life sprouting forth, or the lack of it, say about you? How are you being in or relating to your world? And what can you do, if anything, to change, assist, support, or bring light to what is or isn't happening to help bring new life or growth? As Christianity and Western civilization spread along with other major religions across the globe, the lines that once divided us, cultural, religious, and geographical, have also changed. So too did the names people call their holidays, the idols and items they celebrated, and the reasons they were celebrating. Imbolc begins at sundown on February 1st and concludes on the evening February 2nd. Today, Imbolc shares the same approximate date with several holidays and cultural festivals that originated in different parts of the world at various points throughout history. These holidays include St. Brigid's Feast Day, Candlemas, the Feast of Torches, Feast of Pan, Feast of Waxing Lights, Snowdrop Festival, Omel, Roman Lupercalia, Egypt's Feast of Nuts, and Groundhog's Day. Even though these holidays all occur in February, they aren't necessarily the same, and some are very different. But many of these spring festivals share similarities because the celebrations held in other parts of the world often follow the familiar rhythmic cycles found in nature, falling within the wheel of the year throughout the procession of the seasons. In some cases, the name and traditions were changed because the time passed and civilizations rose and fell. Beliefs also changed. In other words, different cultures adapted their traditions within the year's seasonal rhythm to suitable activities and events in their region's climate, the biome, culture, the religion, and period of history. And they chose names that they thought fit. The old ways were then forgotten. Luckily, Brigid has not been forgotten, and she is once again chasing away the winter and ushering in the spring of a new civilization, a society that sees life, the cycles of the seasons, peaceful interactions, and caring for the well-being of others as sacred. Make way for this spring in your heart, and she will be there to meet you. Ask, and it shall be given. All right, now let's celebrate the coming of spring with our own fire ritual. All right, as we light the first candle, although it is now dark, I come seeking light. In the chill of winter, I come seeking life. As we light the second candle, I call upon fire that melts the snow and warms the hearth. I call upon fire that brings the light and makes new life. I call upon fire to purify me with your flames. And as we light the third candle, this light is a boundary between positive and negative. That which is justice will prevail in the light. That which is oppressive will fade away. And as we light the fourth candle, like fire, light and love will always grow. Like fire, wisdom and inspiration will always glow. And as we light the final and fifth candle, fire of the hearth, blaze of the sun, cover me in your shining light. I am renewed in your glow, and I am made stronger to carry on. Now take a few moments and meditate on the light of the candles. Think about a time of healing and inspiration and purification. Do you have something damaged that needs to be healed? Are you feeling stagnant or a lack of inspiration? Is there some part of your life that feels toxic or tainted? Visualize the light as a warm, enveloping energy that wraps itself around you, healing your ailments, igniting the spike of creativity, and purifying that which is damaged. Then imagine that light filling this room, blessing all that it illuminates, then pouring out of our beloved church into the street, into our city, and beyond, eventually merging our country and the entire world as it heals, spreading compassion and love. Now visualize yourself holding a piece of that light in your hand. Place it in your spiritual pocket and carry it with you, spreading love everywhere you go. Thank you for allowing me to share this morning's service with you. May your blessings be plentiful.
Our closing hymn today is number 123, Spirit of Life, from the Gray Hymnal. Feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. Life is complicated and uncertain, and gorgeous with some things we can count on. It has seasons of struggle and seasons of delight, and sometimes the two blow in and bloom simultaneously. Like now, maybe always, and we are here together. All of us from different corners of the world and different families, here, breathing together, questing together, holding each other through it all, laughing and singing in the face of it. If there is a journey to liberation, if there is a way to live resurrection, I think it is like this. May what holds us in bondage to death or loss or hurt or sadness or literal heart-breaking limits be released. And what gives us life, hope, joy, rebirth, feel invited to claim us, and may we claim it, sinking our roots down into what grounds us, reaching towards the sun, flowering into this season all of whose traditions witness to life more abundant, claiming us. After a season of loss and winter struggles of heart and mind and spirit. And may we open our hearts to the abundance of creation that surrounds and sustains us. The circle is open, but never broken. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Namaste, amen, and blessed be. Thank you, Kasey, for sharing your valuable time and insights with us this morning. It is sincerely appreciated, and we look forward to seeing you up here again. We will have about 10 to 15 minutes for discussion following this service for those who wish to share their thoughts and observations on today's topic. Please be aware this will be included on the video that is posted. For the rest of you, you are now welcome to adjourn into the parish hall. Would anyone like to come up to the microphone and share their thoughts on today's service?
I do. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. I love the altar. I love the way that it looks. I love the lighting. I loved the lighting ceremony, the ritual. This is my Brigid's cross that I made, and I specifically made it bright and colorful to, what do I say, as a forecast of the beautiful, bright, colorful flowers that are going to be blooming. Unfortunately, because of weather and climate change, all of my flowering bulb things bloomed about 4 weeks ago, and I brought and put a bunch on the altar, but they're all gone now. Otherwise, I would have brought the flowers themselves. But since I didn't have any, I made my Brigid's cross very bright and colorful.
Thank you, Tinka. Would anyone else like to come up to the microphone and share their thoughts, observations, opinions? Grace?
So apparently today is Groundhog Day, and we have 6 more weeks of winter. I can't remember if he saw his shadow or he didn't see his shadow, but apparently we have 6 more weeks of winter.
Tim?
I just want to say, am I on? I just want to say I went to this university that was centered around the Greek life instead of dorms. And I didn't get in the Greek life. I got flushed from Rush. But I feel strong and helpful here. It's good to be here. Thank you.
You, Tim.
As a pagan, there's always the question of what makes it work this year? What is it that makes this moment work, or what made last moment work? Are you striving after this gigantic, unreachable ideal? And the question is there. Then there's a thing called the I Ching. Has about 64 trigrams for just how a thing is shaped, and it's particular, based on what elements are running through it at the time. When you're dealing with Imbolc, it's kind of an I Ching moment, because you've got this gigantic idea of cold and frost, which we don't always see here in the Southland. And then you've got this idea of what is it for you here and today? And that when you see the wheel of the year running, that essentially any given moment, whether it's a pagan holiday or not, you wind up with the idea that says, here and now, what is happening? You have the great ideals that have been there for longer than I've been on the planet. And then there's the moments that says, what is it doing now? So that's the whole thing. You're perpetually dancing between those two lights, if only, among others. So here we go again.
of rebirth. It's always heartening. I contrast that with what I just saw this morning, kind of a quiet thing, I guess, but still kind of a surprise. One of my neighbors, their house is up for sale. Their girl used to play with the boy that lives actually just beside me, where this girl and her family is about 3 doors down. It just reminds me that in our society where how much money you have and how you earn it and how you spend it and the things that we buy with it have so much power. And I'm not saying I would go around and try to save their situation unless I could in some symbolic way, like rebirth or something like that. But I think probably the bank has other ideas. Sorry.
Is there anyone else in the sanctuary who'd like to share their thoughts or observations? Is there anyone online? Doesn't look like it for now. All right. If there are no further comments, thank you everyone for sharing your thoughts. And now, please join us in the parish hall for further fellowship and our first Sunday luncheon.